giving you an update on the Vrising that we've been doing. We have officially gone open public server. It has been long overdue. Currently, we had to deal with finishing up the V Blood members lists there that we had to take care of. We did that. We finished updating all our castles and getting them prepared and most of our servants with the best gear that we can give them at the present time. And the best weapons. We also got a lot of our castles fully upgraded to the max, all fives across the board. And we are officially just slowly piecing up everything, getting all of our storage units filled with different items that would be helpful to us, and everything along those lines. Currently, I've noticed that there is a particular problem when collecting silver coins and silver ore. Every so often when we reach a certain amount, we end up having a issue with the character saying that they're carrying silver and slowly dying. Right there, see? We didn't even pick up more than a set of gold coins just now, which is really weird. I don't know what the problem with that is, but all of a sudden, this is what we just grabbed from our one character there, was that last set of gold coins, which is not silver. That's why I don't understand what this problem is with that. It is what it is. We're just slowly filling up storage, keeping an eye out in case anyone tries to join in our game. Because right now, although we are not terribly underprepared, we're certainly not as strong as I thought. When I realized that, it was already too late to go and change it, as we had already opened it to the public. And the game switches.
Happened? My headset cut out. Must have been a weird thing. Anyway, I was just saying all the progress we had made so far in the game. We were updating all of our characters. We were slowly collecting all of our resources in order to prepare ourselves in case someone tried to join in on our game. It was public, and I had noted the silver problem there. We collected only some gold coins, and ended up, it was saying we were carrying silver, which indeed we were, but not to the extent that it should have been a problem. And it looks like we are out of space in the storage room for most of these items. So we'll have to start yanking them upstairs to the other storage room. Most of them. Okay, slowly but certainly we are getting there. It seems to take a little while for it to realize we are carrying silver or what have you, but it's strange that it just would randomly do it at random times. And as you can see again, we are about twice as much silver as we were a second ago. And now that we've picked up a set of gold coins at that time, it started up again. Which is why I don't quite understand what its problem is, but it's kind of strange. And it stopped once we got rid of the gold coins. And not the fact that we're still carrying all the same amount of silver we had before the coins were removed. It is so weird. Okay, over to this one. try to move as many items out of our inventory as possible. We're getting there. And we head upstairs. Don't go on a little too far. Oh, nope, there is another one up here. I forgot. This is where we keep all the shards in this castle. Alright, so that's most, if not all, of our servants in this particular castle taken care of. We have 5 castles, all of them max rank, all of the, or if not all, most of our servants fully to the max, because some castles have had some trouble keeping a full set of servants for whatever reason. I'm not exactly sure what the problem with that is. It's just been happening a lot, where we'll have servants in one castle disappear and servants in another castle appear that weren't there before, and it's just funky at that. Then again, we do have 5 max level castles, so I'm not surprised if that has something to do with it. But I doubt it. No, we don't need them to go there. We need this separated at least once. $900. They're close enough. It says they have a 100% chance of succeeding, which I'm not going to argue if it says so. Okay, we still have a few more to deal with. But at least this way we'll know which ones are left, because they should be the only ones walking about the castle. Unfortunately, unless we wanted to try and make the same armor that we're wearing to give to each of our servants, that would be a crap ton, though, of materials and time. We really can't do a whole hell of a lot about it right now. That's a long time. Some of our castles are over-prepared, some of our castles are under-prepared for stuff. It's really kind of difficult, because this is one of those mid-tier ones. We have some doing a little bit better than others.
Blood sustains.
For example, the castle we are currently in is down here in the bottom. But, as you can clearly see, we have one just above the human area where all the knights and things are. We have one in between these 4 different areas. And we have one in the cursed forest right around the ancient settlements and the place you can get ghost crystals. Then we also have one between the land of Dracula's servants and the center area here, which is just filled with bandits and other, like, lesser human settlements. It's not quite this area. This area is where all the heavily armed religious humans are. This area is like hit or miss. This is your bandit area. This is kind of like a gray area. This is Dracula's land, or the land of all the undead creatures. This is your ghost creatures. This is your mutant area. These 2 areas. And this is the serpent/poisoner area here. Which, these little areas are practically the only areas we haven't officially stepped foot in at. Just not that much. But it's not like they're really worth it to sit there and deal with. I just thought, since I wasn't doing anything really today, and I haven't uploaded it in a couple of days, I would do a Vrising update. See, just show you all the things we have officially finished, just to give you that full update. Hang on a minute. Okay. I had to check out if my headset was actually working or if it desynchronized itself again. Sorry if you hear my younger brother in the background. He's yelling a lot. And he can practically be heard for miles around. Okay. That should be, I think, all of our servants for this castle officially. Never really shows you the full list of servants in every castle, especially when you have them all maxed out, or all the servant things you can have in a castle maxed out. think, yeah, it looks to be about everything. So there is one other way I could always check. It really gets annoying when you keep hearing swear words all day, every day. Now we have a few empty coffins in this one. So I'm pretty sure that was about all of them. These all used to be filled at one point. I don't know why or what happened to them. I'm not sure if a servant dies, if you don't resurrect them after a while, they just disappear. I'm not sure if that's the case or not. I haven't tried it, nor would I want to. But eventually I do intend to refill those coffins. That's our one friend. I don't know why that says VR on it, but I don't even think he's on today. No, he's not. I also don't know why it makes him sleep outside of the coffin. But it is what it is. It's a disconnection again. I can throw these in here, or I can throw them in. Actually, I think I'll throw them in the Devourer and get some extra paper out of it. All these, so I don't even need these, so. Alright. Seems it gets louder every time. Is this breathing? Oh my good lord. I already know this one's got pretty much a full storage at the base floor. That's not the hard part. Some castles are easy to remember versus others. I think the fish storage is the only questionable part of it all. That's because I haven't filled up any fish storage to the max just yet. In any castle, that's like the only thing. Everything else is pretty much filling up like crazy. Even though I send, a servant or two over to the fishing pond for every castle. It's almost like they never actually go where I tell them to go with that one. They just come back with books, papers, one or two small fish. It just doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense, but it's just the way it is. Okay, summon you to inventory. Now, here's an important fact. This is a door that the servants will not open. If they are open, they will cross over. This is one that's not, that they can't open. Same with that door. If it has that one mark on it, they won't cross over the door if it's closed. If it's open, they'll cross over it, no problem. It's kind of funny that way. Actually, wait, I didn't see what percentage that was at. 92. 100. When I say I send them to the fish place, this is the fishing lake where there's a V-Blood called the Fisherman, if you aren't aware. Every time I send someone out to do that mission, though, it's like they only ever come back with books. And I'm like, why the hell is it called a fishing pond if you never actually bring back fish? It doesn't make any sense. When I send them here, they come back with tons of different things, fish included, and it just doesn't make sense whatsoever. So there's only a few places in the entire map where you actually can get fish from. Very few. There's only one place in the entire map you can get silver from. There are a few places you can kinda get some iron from, but this is the one that's predominantly known for iron. There are several places you can get the radium alloy. This is one of them. It's not a terrible place. Not easy to get them there, though. Oh, gets louder every time he says anything. Oh, it is very, very annoying. Especially when he goes with those cursed memes every time he says something. He wants to either attack all his enemies, blah blah blah, enter thing here. He'll just say that and then he'll say 100 memes for an hour and a half. But it happens. Kitty's excited. excited over talking with his friends, but seriously. More people he doesn't even know, and just, it is what it is, but it's just, if he wanted to do that, he should just try to quiet down a little. It can get very annoying when you have to hear it over a muffled headphone. And I'm hearing him through both the door, the game audio, and everything. Just like, does your volume switch keep getting malfunctioned? No, you're not. Stop yelling about it. No, stop yelling about it. I'll be back. Okay, we're back. Okay, stick this outfit away until we need it. Should we need it? Hopefully that quiets it down a little bit more. But I doubt it. Turn off. Normally I'm not annoyed by his antics. The more he gets loud about it, the more annoying I get. Especially when you have to hear it day in and day out. Yourself 101 times all day. once in a while, not bad. Every day, all day. Seriously. Step on, you know how to say? Alright, that's that. Good. So it does something. I didn't even want to know what that noise was. Frankly, I'm better off not knowing what noise it was. Most of my patience is worn away today anyway, so not surprising. I'll go through an interview, wait forever today to get my car's oil changed on, etc., etc. Standard life, but there's a lot of issues, especially when people can't drive, or they choose to drive recklessly, I should say. So my patience is worn thin today. Just a little. Oh, this is the most hardcore he's been on. It still doesn't stop him from sparring at everybody all day. But we get there eventually. gotta grab. We started stuff in the mutated grease levels to make the irradiated food or whatever. There's a fish off. Temperature beds, windows and rings. Irradiated cool. Which is actually very, very poor thing. Have to try and do. It is an achievement to make a, whatchamacallit, a servant or a prisoner 100% blood quality with getting them one of those and not having them turn into a mutant. Which I can figure out how to do, I just haven't had time to do so just yet. Nor all of the resources. Sorry, slight intrusion. I think that was all of them. Yeah, I think so. That looks to be everything. Now it's just a matter of putting away the remaining resources. And then we move on to the next castle. Take the rest to the next treasury. Up. Yes, I have 2 thrones in here for a reason. If on the top side, I can use that one. If I'm down here, I can use the one over there. So if we're in that castle, we went to... So we started down there, we went to this one. Pretty sure that's the next one we have to do. This is one of our more well-equipped and stocked up. Well, that wasn't unanticipated, but that one's been around for an age. Sad to say that that had to go that way, but... I am not too worried about it though. It's always a good thing to kill a few of them off every so often. That harpy had been in there for eons. It's about halfway through all of our, what you want to call it there? Halfway through our updates and everything. It's been there a while. It's given us probably about 2/3 of all the potions we have in these. Each one that's like 93 and is a warrior, or 96 or above, is usually it. The one that we just lost right there. Yeah, most of these. We've had that one in there for a long time. Very long time. I'm surprised it stayed around so long. It didn't die off a lot sooner, but that's okay. Though I wasn't expecting it because it's supposed to limit the damage they take. Not more than it did, but shit happens, like I said. I think we have more. Trying to get these right here, these 3 types of fish. That would make my job of trying to upgrade their, what you want to call it, that much easier. This one specifically. This one doesn't have any negatives. So if I were to give it one of these, it would possibly increase the, what you want to call it? Oh, well, it technically has some negatives, but not many. But this has a lot more negatives than it should. This only increases the blood percentage by 1, maybe 2%, but has such a high chance of turning them into a mutant, it's not even funny. This one, 9 out of 10 times, you give it one of these, it goes up by 2. It's very, very particular. There you go. See what these are all about. Curious. Use them in the other thing if I even can use them in that. Nope. Doesn't go in that won't go in there either. Okay. Interesting. Do some organization here. I need to build another one of those ships. There we go. Yeah, it's what they would call a double consumable one, either if it's in the consumable bin or it'll fit in the blood potion thing. But it takes away from what you want to call it if you put it in the consumables. Okay, just some of these and move them to the other bin. Once I fill this one up, it'll be fine to put them in the other thing later. And we want to just kind of ease it out. Move them around a little bit here and there. That way if we get any more of the other consumables, which we've been lately, we can just throw them in here and not have to think about them again. Unlike most of the other consumables, the blood potions fit in 2 places, but only have predominantly one use. While most of the others are predominantly several uses, but only one place to put them. With us. Throw them into one thing and start making a spreadsheet list. Turning on going. He was about to march right through there, even though I closed the door. That would have been amusing to see and be like, ah, it told me wrong. Because when you build those doors, it gives you a description on what's the difference between that and the regular door. It tells you, this is the one that the people won't, the servants won't go through. The other one will say, this is one your servants can open. There's a point. Hang on. Those are used to keep unwanted enemies out. Requires a castle entrance to be placed. This one, servants will not open or close this door. As you can see, it has that little circle on there. Just proving a point. Just putting it out there. Now he's trapped inside. Because like I said, if it's open, they'll go through it. If it's closed, they won't go through it. Excuse me. Though we got rid of the silver, it's still on us. Kind of dumb, but that is what it is. Ooh, we did just fill that one up. Okay. This one's almost full. Fortunately, like I said before, most of our casts have multiple treasury rooms. That way, when we fill one up, we have another one to go to. There's one of the many, but not one of them. Oh, it is the one I thought I was looking for.
My blood. Restore my body.
Almost there. Oh, we got silver on us again. We just spent time getting rid of the silver we were dealing with. Do it again. Just throw it in here for now. Mostly because our forges are in that room there. Or above us somewhere. It's so far away to carry them the whole way there and back. It is extremely frustrating. Sort of post-apocalyptic place scenario, but books are way too prevalent. because supposedly we're playing as a character who was the new Rising of the Vampires, not the original successor or whatever. It's, if you're unfamiliar with the story, it's supposed to be the revival of the vampire ways after the human uprising. That's what the character is supposed to be, according to the story opening. Do that. So finish throwing away these items. Start to send them out. Yeah, because this is where our castle is for that we're in right now, if you were wondering. Anyone watching at this time? So we have several castles, like I was saying earlier. We're in the one just above the human area right now. Chance, 32, 5. Someone's got a practically a guaranteed chance of success. Oh, so we don't, not for that one. No. This castle is enough silver. This. That's me. With most of them having been sent off, only ones that should be left are the ones that haven't had their inventories completely emptied. Again, like I was just saying earlier, this is one of our other treasuries in this castle. Every castle at least has 2, maybe 3. Not all of them possess those shard pedestals, though. Just the one I ended up building them in does. So far that I'm aware of. Though I did intend to have that be one of my future additions. I'm not so concerned with it at this time, though. I've basically been leaving the tanneries the same until I have enough resources to build the upgraded form, which we do. Oh. Pretty sure I have enough resources to fix this up. I must always keep multiple of these 2 on every floor.
I cannot build here.
Shouldn't need more than that, though. Oh, this one does have these in here. I didn't think it did. Okay, I stand to correct myself. This one also has all of... Oh, that's why. This was the one I started building these in. I ended up building them in a different castle recently. I had to remind myself. And yet, here is one more of my many treasures. This one looks like it could use some updating. If they were just there like that. No, I do have stuff in there. Ooh, I can breathe again. As you can kind of see, each of the big ones is worth 4 of the small ones.
I must make room if I want to carry that.
There we go. Fixed it. It tends to do that a lot. Randomly switching your equipment. I won't worry about that right now. Okay, so we just did the tailoring stuff, which means we need to upgrade one of these. We already have one of those big ones for that, so we can sit there like that. Rest of the space should be fine for what you want to call it. The others. Let's just see if these got anything in them. That one don't. That one does. So let's have that one down. That one down. We should need more than the one, but it never hurts to have 2. These, you never know how many of them you'll need. 2 is my rough estimate on them, though. In every one of these storage rooms, it's better to have 2 of everything, usually. More than just the one. The only exception to that rule are the material supply closets. Those you can almost never have too many of. You will constantly keep getting more and more of the same materials thousands of times over. You will always need to expand those, like, without effort. You will just, oh, no, it's time to add more, kind of deal. I just keep some of these here and there just for the sake of having them. Say if I run out of the resources for the other outfits, I use those as replacement for temporary ones until I have the time and the resources to upgrade them. Who is left here? Let's see. Just took care of the other one. Check, make sure I didn't miss anyone. Nope, that's everyone. Basically, if I have everything I need, I just, run it here, there, everywhere. If I don't have a specific resource, it'll come back later and tell me, oh hey, you're missing this. And I'll be like, oh. That's just usually how it goes, though. And the thing about these being in the treasury is we can use them for anything, anywhere, at any time. So once they're on the treasury floor, those are accessible from anywhere in the castle. Ooh. Alright. That's a first for these. These are the usual ones we have. This is the first for building these big ones. Most of our, if not all of our, servants have those kinds of smaller talismans. At the moment. It'll be intriguing to see how much stronger they become. Like I said, this is a very limited time scenario. I don't usually have all those resources to make these ones. But this is an intriguing change, like I said. It'll be interesting. Being that this is the first castle in which I've been able to build things in, it's only fitting I select one of my many servants to be the guinea pig for this castle. Just one. 75. I think that's their second strongest character we have. Pretty sure 78 is our highest right now. And it's not with that kind of equipment. Those two are our best now. Let's see what we can do with them. They're almost up to 900 on their own. I'm intrigued. That's a first. Now that gets me wanting to make more of those. Much more. In order to do that, I have to get more of those blood bolts. And I have to start taking them from the prisoners. That's why we were able to make them. Blood milks take the grapes we don't have presently. At least in this castle. That would be either consumables or that would be okay. Okay, that's good to know though. Having a bit of a moment there. With the other items in our inventory, we cannot fast travel or use the teleporters. We have to do it manually. Although I do have a better alternative than that. Return to that. Thank you. It's almost as fast as fast travel with the teleporters. Almost as fast. And the horse is just a little bit slower, not by much. I always found it enjoyable to get to look down on all the trees and everything. You get to fly around as this little bat. Should be right there. Delayed. Yes, the next and most important suit of armor we could possibly build everyone is these, but it would take a lot more than what we have presently to make anything stronger than that. We're up to the level 7s for most of our servants. There is technically better, but it's like impossible to get all those materials for that. It takes way too long. Way too long. Okay, where's our teleporters? In here. There's one of them. Alright. We empty out our inventory. At least some of them are kind of thoughtful and bring themselves in here for us if we leave the door open. We don't have to go running after them all the time. Carrying silver again. No coin storage. Shit. So many storage spots. Not enough time. Tend to check these once every so often in all the castles. Sometimes I'll run into things I forgot all about, or I won't run into anything. Prefer not to run into anything, because it means I've put all the time and effort into storing them into the right places. Yes, her character slowly heals. I'm sure you were aware of, but it's nice of me to make mention of it. Excuse me. You would think the fish bones would go in the fish storage, but no, they don't. They go in completely different spots. Every trip, there's a bunch of books and scrolls and paper. It just doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense. As you can see, most of our characters have the smaller talismans like I was telling you about. And like I said, they're all up to about level 7. There's like, I think only 2 that are beyond that. Why don't you have a talisman at all? It's kind of weird. Okay. How did it do? Yeah, the Night Maidens also make some of the more tougher forms of servants too, which is why I tend to bring more of them as servants than anything. Reason being, it's just easier that way. Especially when you don't have to worry about them getting instantly killed out there. It's just, you know, easier. Less to concern oneself with. Because every time a servant dies and doesn't succeed in their mission, it lessens their effectability and their chances of getting it done right overall. I noticed that the past few times when a servant has died, even though they had a 100% chance of succeeding. I'm not going to get started on that. Nope. I'm just going to make mention that it's very frustrating. instantly you have 100% chance of succeeding, only they have that one strange percentage of why they didn't succeed. It just doesn't make sense. Until you realize, oh hey, they failed a couple times before now. And it lessens their effectability to get the job done. Which is why basically since then, every time a servant fails, I tend to replace them. Give or take which kind of servant and how strong they are and how effective they actually are. Which is why these ones usually make the best, as far as I've seen so far. Them and the paladins. Though a paladin can still occasionally fail, it's not usually likely for that to happen. That's why I kind of expect all of the other types of characters to slowly fail over time. But the Night Maidens, I haven't seen a single one of them fail unless they are unequipped. Like, say, if all of their items were empty and they were a level 0. How the hell do you get away with not having either a pair of boots or a talisman? I will never know. There's a first for that, too. That's why I have those in there, because I was certain I gave everyone one. Where did you? There you are. Might as well see if I can't build them. Nope. No radium alloy and no blood bolts. Okay. Well, that's a shame. Though I could make both, it's just easier if I don't have to make a whole hell of a lot. Okay, do we have an armor standing here? No, but I don't think we have anything in these either. No, we don't. Which means a few things. I don't think we have the materials. No, we don't. We need more materials. Which I'm okay with. I'm good with this. This will work out well in our favor for the time being. So, we need to send some people out to do things for us right now. Task number 1. Skin is so itchy today. It is very frustrating. Most of our castles only have one throne on them. Each one is usually at the top of the castle itself. Or damn near close to. Because here's this one's. I particularly made it this way so it would look a little more auspicious, or, you know, however you want to put it. Decorative. Fancy, etc. Okay. So this castle needs some stuff. Specifically. That's a good start area. We need, what else do we need? This spot here. 7, 1, 200s. I do not have what it takes to hit that spot yet. You do though. Yeah, this castle has mostly servants from this area, because you can only grab so many of each type of character. Not too worried about that. Most of the castles have way too much silver on them already as it is. Oh, interesting. %, chance, 95. 3, we're not risking that. Each type, though, also affects a different area, as you can kind of see as we go along. Each time that one of the symbols matches a type of character we have, it lowers it a little. If it matches both sigils for a character, it literally, for example, that one would be a perfect match for this mission. But then again, we also have units that are stronger than the area requirement. Oh, my flesh is itching me like crazy. Mostly around my head. My ears mainly. People talking their crap all day long. But that's their problem, not mine. Kind of sending them everywhere. A little bit here, a little bit there. I think we've reached our limits. Yeah, looks like it. Alright. Looks like all of our servants are out. Excuse me. Someone texted who that could have been. Hold on. Got a ton of notifications randomly at one point in time. More than I normally get at once. This place to have those yet either. But that's all these solar servants ready and going. So we've been to this one, that's where we start. We've been to the one we're at. We've been to this one. We've been here, so it's just this one, I believe. This is the one, weird one. Because as soon as we're here, the map up there in the corner will disappear. Any second. Yep, there it is. It's starting to phase out already. Why is that, you'll ask? Oh, right. We're inside the castle. We haven't stepped foot outside yet. Eventually the minimap will phase out and disappear, just like the fog in the castle here. It's gonna get thick and stay that way. As you can kind of tell, we are in the cursed forest. I'm just kind of surprised it hasn't done that yet with the minimap. Normally, the first thing it does is gray out the minimap. Oop, there it goes. Slowly, the closer we get to the ground, the more it's gonna do that. That's just a strange thing it does. As you can see, the minimap is getting darker and darker and darker. Until it'll completely, entirely disappear. As it just did. Just took a little while, longer than I expected. Put these materials we just picked up away. Alright, so this place does not have one of those built in here yet. There's seeming very little room in order to build one in here, but that's okay. I could always just do this, build it outside, though it's not accessible from out here. We don't really need this bunch of armor anyway. small enough not to worry about thing. And that's just mostly how all that goes. It's one of our lessers. What about here? It's not enough to build those because we don't have those things yet. Okay. Plenty of things. Plenty of places and things to look at. Have I built those here yet? Does not look like I have. Repair incomplete. Okay, so... Oh, there's already a pair of the red. There's no yellow pair yet. And there's no blue. Interesting. Here's where we can build these for our level 7 equipment. For most of our servants. That basically bumps them up to, what you want to call it there? Level 72 or what have you for most of them. So, this is one we want to put... Oh yeah, I forgot I have to fix that. Here's the spot we want to place one of these. We'll put yellow here in our main forge. This is only one of the many forges we have in this castle, but this is the most prevalent one that we run into.
My blood reserves run low.
Yes, we're getting there. And now we're carrying silver again. Okay, we need a storage unit for that. pretty soon I will have them all up to level 7. Pretty soon. And then who knows, I might have them all up to the better talismans not too long away. After that. So those talismans are really excessive and expensive to make, though. Well worth it, as we all see. So carrying all those means we can't teleport. The armor is also something we can't teleport around with. Which sucks. Stop that. This was actually our weakest resourced castle. Mainly because it just took us forever to bring any resources up this way. That was really almost always the problem. All of our resources were everywhere else, just not here. There it goes again. Okay. Should be almost all of our servants adjusted. Almost all of them. Almost there. Yeah, it's a stack of 150. Up to no more. What else? Oh yeah, we still have guns to work with later. That's the tier before the top tier guns. goes the Dark Silver pistols, then it's the Sanguine pistols after that, when they're upgraded. I think I'll have to cut this stream a little short tonight and probably pick up when I get back in a little while. I have some errands to run in a little bit. But I want to thank you all for watching now. Hopefully you tune in again. If you want to see more, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and let me know. I tend to look at my YouTube studio, which is the thing that tells me what people like to watch every so often. So the more I watch this, the more likely I am to stream it again. Thank you, and we will catch you in the next video.